Hey guys, here we are in the Legends cars at Daytona, and I just wanted to play a short clip of a wreck that occurred during the race, and then I'm going to show you my involvement in the wreck and the decisions that I made and whether or not they were the right ones and how I can try to improve in the future. But first we're going to play the wreck from someone else's on board here. So now let's just review what they saw at the start of this wreck. So they initially saw a car sliding off to the left, so they kind of stayed right. Looks like everything's kind of settled. Then the car checks up in front and gets into the wall, and so they slow down accordingly. Then they do hit the car, which then slows their car down even more. And they get tapped from the back, it seems, if we go into chase view, just trying to understand what caused that. They're sideways, and then they do get tapped, which gets them to spin around. They get lost in the grass. They continue spinning and then once their car finally settles, ends up stopping around 50 miles per hour. They're facing the right way. The wreck's still happening, so they kind of turn a little bit left into the grass around 30 miles per hour. Looks like everything's settled, and then another car comes and then spins them around and hits them. So that car that came in blasting through the grass was me, and I can totally understand that something like that after the wreck has occurred for so long, how it just seems egregious and it looks like I probably was full throttle the whole time. That is totally a normal assumption. And so now I want to play you my on board and explain what I saw. I'll show it full speed first, and then I'll show it in slow motion. So here's what I saw. So, unlike the other car that got contact from behind and spun around, which caused it to lose its speed, I wasn't spun around in this instance, so I had to lose a lot more speed by my own. And so, looking up ahead, I don't really see any issue. I don't really see any smoke until this point. And at this point, I'm already half off the gas. I probably should be on the brakes, and I start getting on the brakes now, and I start to get on them 60%. So I'd say maybe my reaction time to the wreck is a bit late, and I maybe could have gone to full brake, but I feel once you get to full brake, the car just fronts lock up and you have no control. So that's why I'm around 60% to minimize lack of control. And I'm at 90% brake here. I see I'm catching up to the car ahead, and I look right here, and I see a bunch of smoke over here. I see a bunch of cars coming up the track. I see one car coming down, and I feel the best way to avoid, instead of having to worry about all these cars checking up and then running into them, is just to turn into the grass. I feel that's the safest way to avoid. So that's what I do. In addition, there's another car coming sideways over here, so I feel my choice was the right choice because I would have to avoid that chaos. And at this point, I see like two cars. I see this car in the apron that might be coming down, and I see this car. And I feel if I just turn left there or go right here, but I feel if I go straight here, I could end up coming back up on the track with a lot of speed. So again, I don't want to, I'm still kind of sliding here now that I'm on the grass, less traction to brake. I don't want to start spinning out of control, but I'm minimizing the brake pressure. I feel like there's still space here, and then I see this car turning left. I feel like I'm still turning to the left to try to avoid them, almost full lock at this point, and I feel any throttle adjustments will just be uh, they will be useless in terms of rotating the car on the grass, and then I make contact. So again, this happens so fast, but in terms of whether the fact that a car is just blasting through with no intention of slowing down for the wreck, I just want to prove that that was not the case. And in terms of ways to improve this, I don't know whether a smarter choice would have been to go to the outside. I realized that contact was still made, and that was the goal, was to avoid contact, but um, yeah, I mean, if you have any suggestions on how to minimize or prevent something like this from happening, I appreciate it. But I'll just play it in full speed one more time from chase view now. So yeah, I would like to apologize to the four car that I did hit. I realized that he was basically out of he basically avoided as much as he could. The only thing that I do question is at this point he's kind of straight, and does he make a choice to turn left here? It looks like he is, and I don't know. I mean, he's still. It looks like everything's under control now. and he turns left, then countersteers back to the right, and then turns left again. And that left again, while it may seem minor, it's just like it seems like he's trying to shift away, and I don't know if that decision is made to prevent any rolling cars to hit him, or I feel like every car is basically slowed down, at least mostly at this point. You still see cars flipping, so maybe that may not be the case, but I feel like it might be a safe time try to rejoin, maybe not the track, but just the apron. And the fact that he doesn't do that, but not only doesn't do that, but turns even further away. I mean, I don't feel like it's fair to put blame on him since, of course, he's not expecting another car. But just given the case that I knew that I was there, obviously it's only on my end. I feel like that could have minimized it. So it is just a curiosity question, like what made him turn left. Obviously, that assuming there was no car, it wouldn't have been a problem. But even if he just stayed straight, let's see if you look at his tire marks on the grass. Like he was in this lane or so, and yeah, if we just go back of it, you can see those tire marks do go to the left. It's so very minor, and it's really inconsequential based on the given that there should be no car coming, especially at that speed. But it is there nonetheless. So I definitely take full blame of this incident. I recognize that there were a lot of things happening at once, but I just tried to take the smallest risk scenario, and unfortunately, it didn't result in an incidentless uh, incidentless result for either of us. So yeah, just want to apologize, but there is my perspective on this incident. Hope you appreciate it, and see you next time.